So the gender stereotype, you know the word stereotype. Stereotype means the type of the people always seeing the woman and the men are not the same, equal. This is the stereotype in their mind. Rigid, you know, rigid idea. Stereotype is the rigid idea. Răng thẳng right. Chia cầm đất răng thẳng mũi đại và căn mồm. Ideas about the capabilities, behavior, and inherent qualities. Stereotype ហ្នឹងគឺជាគំនិតដែលរឹងត្អឹងមួយដែលប្រកាន់ថាសមត្ថភាព capabilities behavior អត្តចរិត and inherent quality ហើយនឹងគុណតម្លៃពីកំណើតថាមនុស្សហ្នឹងគឺវាមានភាពខុសគ្នាពីអញ្ចឹងទើបមនុស្សវាមានផ្នត់គំនិតមកអញ្ចឹងថាស្ត្រីមិនអាចធ្វើអ្វីដោយបុរសបាន but not like that it is the outmoded idea that are considered normal for the age sex. We all know that these stereotypes are a feminine mean a female. Girl should be non-acceptive, accommodating, and somewhat illogical in her thinking. A masculine a man, a male. Boy should strong and emotion, aggressive and competitive. This is the outmoded idea that stereotype have in the other people mind, the concept. So that's why many years you need to spend your time, you need to spend your years to challenge it, not only 1 year, 2 years, because this stereotype, this idea, this concept, this mindset have 2,000 years ago have been arised. So that's why it is so difficult for us to challenge it. You know how our children exposed to this stereotype? How our children to expose to this stereotype. According to the researchers David and Mira Shaker of the American University in Washington, D.C., boys and girls are often treated differently in classroom. They found that when boys are called out the answer, teachers usually listen and often constructive comment. Mean that when the male student answer the question, the teachers always say, wow, you are great, and to give any comment in the class. When girls call out the answers, teachers tend to focus on the behavior rather than the content of the response, and are likely something like, please raise your hand to speak. When the woman answer the question, teachers always focus on the attitude, the behavior, not focus on the responses of the student answer. This is the problem for the school in the classroom, and always say that, please raise your hand up to speak, but not the boy. Boy always say, oh yeah, okay, you can speak. It's always common something to contract you, to build more confidence. This is the differences in school that were found by David and Mira Shaker of the American Washington, D.C. So what underlying genders? You know, underlying means that cause and effect, cause and reason. Underlying gender stereotype is believed that difference between the sexes are not only innate and natural, but also somehow necessary. vậy tha mù là hết đại not cầm nứt từ căn phê chẳng pi đó cứ chia chùm nửa is the belief that cứ chia chùm nửa đại chưa thá different between ភាពខុសគ្នារវាងភេទទាំងពីរភេទប្រុសនិងភេទស្រី are not only innate and natural វាមិនមានតាំងពីកំណើតនោះទេហើយក៏វាមិនមែនជាធម្មជាតិរបស់មនុស្សដែរការរើសអើងបែបនេះគឺជាការកើតឡើងតាមរយៈផ្នត់គំនិតរបស់មនុស្សតែប៉ុណ្ណោះមិនមែនជា innate and natural ទេ but also somehow necessary ប៉ុន្តែវាមានករណីយកិច្ចខ្លះសំខាន់ដែរមិនមានន័យថា not គំនិតហ្នឹងវាអត់ប្រយោជន៍មានន័យថាវាមានចំណុចខ្លះវា necessary ដែរ somehow the emphasis on differences begins at birth and the progresses through the childhood មានន័យថាចំណុចដែលខុសគ្នានោះគឺមនុស្សយើងកេងគិតថាវាកើតឡើងហ្នឹងមនុស្សដែលចាប់ដើមពីកំណើតមកវាមានភាពអន់ថយអញ្ចឹងហើយដំណើរការនៃការអភិវឌ្ឍរបស់ក្មេងហ្នឹងក៏វាខុសគ្នាអញ្ចឹងមនុស្សវាមានផ្នត់គំនិតអញ្ចឹង the belief របស់មនុស្សហ្នឹងគឺជំនឿរបស់មនុស្សគឺវាជឿអញ្ចឹងប៉ុន្តែមិនមែនជាធម្មជាតិរបស់មនុស្សមកទេ it's not like that it's not that natural for example few people will give pink booties to a boy and a blue blanket to a girl later many of us gives girl dolls and maintain chairs kitchenware while boy receive action fingers and contraction set មានន័យថាមនុស្សភាគច្រើនឧទាហរណ៍ថាមនុស្សគឺឲ្យតម្លៃទៅលើស្ត្រីហ្នឹងចូលចិត្តនៅចង្ក្រានបាយជាអ្នកចុងភៅ kitchenware មានន័យថា maintain kitchenware ហ្នឹងគឺការងារតូចល្អិតគឺជាមនុស្សស្រីដែលចូលចិត្តស្រឡាញ់គឺចុងភៅអញ្ចឹងមនុស្សវាឲ្យតម្លៃទៅអញ្ចឹង while the boy receive action fingers and contraction set ជានៅពេលកំឡុងពេលដែលក្មេងប្រុសហ្នឹងទទួលបានការអប់រំទទួលបានការស្ថាបនាហើយនឹងទទួលបានសិក្សារៀនសូត្រ contraction set there is nothing inherently wrong វាមិនខុសតតែសោះមានន័យថាវាមិនខុសទាំងស្រុងនោះទេពីបញ្ហាទាំងអស់នោះ with girl playing house or boys building sing ដែលគិតថាស្ត្រីនឹងត្រូវតែធ្វើជាមេចុងភៅហើយបរិសុទ្ធនឹងត្រូវតែសិក្សានោះ building sing the problem arises when certain activities are deemed appropriate for one sex but for not the another sex បញ្ហានោះគឺថាតើវាស័ក្តិសមដែរទេសកម្មភាពទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងដែលបុរសមិនអាចចូលវិញ្ញាណបាយបានឬក៏ថាបានតែស្ត្រីហើយបុរសហ្នឹងអាចទៅរៀនបានឬក៏ថាស្ត្រីហ្នឹងមិនអាចទៅរៀនបាន this is the problem that we should resolve together so the female stereotype discourage girl from acquiring many skills that will allow them to become economically independent say Helder Johnson Nicholson លោក Johnson Nicholson គាត់បានជាបេក្ខជនបណ្ឌិត PhD គាត់បាននិយាយលើកឡើងថាបញ្ហានោះគឺថា stereotype គឺថាផ្នត់គំនិតរបស់មនុស្សផ្នែកស្ត្រីហ្នឹងគឺមិនត្រូវបានលើកទឹកចិត្តទេមិនត្រូវបានលើកទឹកចិត្តឲ្យស្ត្រីហ្នឹងបានសិក្សារៀនសូត្រទេដោយពេលណាស្ត្រីចូលទៅធ្វើការសំដៅឲ្យស្ត្រីហ្នឹងមាននោះគេថា from acquiring many skill that will allow them to become economically independently គឺតម្រូវឲ្យមនុស្សនោះចេះគិតគូរខ្លាំងផ្នែកខាង economically សេដ្ឋកិច្ចឬក៏ថា independent បែបឯករាជ្យមួយមនុស្សយើងពីច្រើននៅពេលដែលស្ត្រីចូលធ្វើអីមួយចាប់ផ្ដើមឲ្យស្ត្រីនោះមានតម្រូវការអីមួយ not different from the male ខុសពីបុរស direct of the national resource this is the stereotype discourage boy from developing skill that help them the living and parenthood ចំណុចទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងធ្វើឲ្យមនុស្សដែលជាបរិះហ្នឹងមិនត្រូវបានលើកទឹកចិត្តឲ្យគាត់ចេះដើមស្លអញ្ចឹងមនុស្សភាគច្រើនគាត់អត់ទៅចេះដើមស្លលោកស្ទៀលអញ្ចឹង right the fact is that says this column in society function are kind of the sorting machine via genders and concern in the recent survey 58% of 18 grade girl but only 6% of a boy earn money caring for younger children បានន័យថាមនុស្សស្រីនឹងមានចំនួន 58% ទៅហើយដែលគាត់ធ្វើកិច្ចការងារផ្ទះហើយនឹងcaring of children មើលក្មេងៗប៉ុន្តែបរិះមានតែចំនួនភាគរយតាយើងយក58%វានៅសល់32%ទៀតវា42%ទៀតគឺពេលនោះគឺសម្រាប់បរិះអញ្ចឹងស្ត្រីនឹងគាត់មានតួនាទីច្រើននៅក្នុងការធ្វើនឹង That's why on the other hand where 27% of boys but only 3% of girls earn money doing loan work អញ្ចឹងនៅពេលកំឡុងពេលនោះ 27% សម្រាប់បុរសគាត់ earn money ប៉ុន្តែមានតែ 3% ទេដែលស្ត្រីគាត់ earn money from doing loan work ដែលធ្វើការអញ្ចឹងនេះគឺជាការស្រាវជ្រាវរបស់លោកមកអីទេ Heather Johnson Nicolon គាត់ PhD គាត់នៅ National Resource Center for Girl នេះគឺជាការស្រាវជ្រាវមួយដែលមនុស្សស្រីហើយនិងមនុស្សប្រុសវាមាន equal គ្នាគេថា growing up equal ចំណុចដែលយើងគួរចាប់អារម្មណ៍នោះគឺថា we can build together now even though if we according to the differencing of the woman from a woman cannot do as a man like as a power no yes we are different from that but if we according to the business we are equal according to the leader we are equal according to the growing up we are equal according to the mindset and the concept of developing the self-development we are equal we can develop we can do as a man a woman can do as a man can to be a manager can to be a leader can to be a prime minister can to be a president can to be a vice president like in American right now Joe Biden is the president and Kamala Harris is a vice president so right it's a woman can do that the first lady in the world to become a vice president of American so this is the power of the woman can do now we are equal even though we have a stereotype in mind but we try to eradicate we try to clear it we try to close it by developing the skill by educated people and by make an educational system from in the countries to eradicate to get rid of this stereotype mindset you got what I mean right
yeah thank you yeah I know for the business and for the educate I think the woman and the man is equal but it's something like over here I want to talk about the woman have a sensitive mind more than the man the sensitive mind when we have something inside, we cannot forgive ourselves. We cannot forget it. We cannot even forget it.
Yeah.
That's why I want to protect the woman from something is some of her fault that when she got a mistake, even herself he cannot cannot forget it and cannot forgive herself. That's why I want to like focus on something that her mistake she cannot forget, and just be careful before she doing something mistake. And I want just protect the woman.
Yes, that's right. You know, from my quote, I have only my quote in my mind. You know, if you want to educate people, if you want to eradicate something like stereotype, like the other woman cannot do as a man, knowledge is a lie for lighting lie perfectly. Again, knowledge is a lie for lighting lie perfectly. And there is only education that can change the world. That's right. វិជ្ជាគឺជាប្រទីបបំភ្លឺផ្លូវជីវិតមនុស្សដ៏ល្អបំផុតហើយមានតែវិជ្ជាទេដែលអាចផ្លាស់ប្ដូរពិភពលោកបាន
Right, you're right.
This is my quote. I have written on something, and I always say to the people, if you want to develop yourself, if you want to eradicate the stereotype of the people, you need to educate people. You need to make a good system in the countries or in your communities. Yeah. The first thing that you need to educate first is from your family. If you have a girl or you have a boy, like a daughter and son, so you need to educate it first from school. School is just a second time, just a second chance, just a system in the country. But in the family, it's a best system that you can educate it to become a powerful woman in the country. I think Venerable Pride, we are so silent. Maybe it's on the bed, right?
I'm listening from you.
Don't let me alone, right?
Yeah, I think that this topic important, okay, for us. But I speak in English. I can't speak.
Just try your best, Venerable.
Yes.
Just try your best. We could listen to you.